this is Isabel Litzler, Pleiad HC, the place to be to develop your skills and grow your potential. So this week has been really busy for me, but catching up right now. So I wanted to make this quick video. I wanted to first let you know about my upcoming conference on Tuesday. This is happening at noon. It's going to be on Facebook via Facebook Live. So I post the link below for those of you who want to participate. I really encourage you to participate because this is the one-time opportunity you have to ask questions directly and I can answer directly. So it's always easier than when you post a comment and then maybe I don't get to it. I'm quite busy. So only recommend that you watch this Facebook Live. It's going to be about an hour and the topic is about the jobs of tomorrow linked to automation and what are some of the key areas to get into right now, especially in terms of studies. If you're young and you're thinking about studying or you're reorienting your career. I'm trying to tell you about the market and where to go, where to study, what type of skills you will need to be successful in the future. So this was a side note. Really hope to see you on Tuesday on Facebook Live. The other thing I want to talk about today, the topic of today's video is about how to decide on a career. This actually came to my mind because I was at the QS World MBA on Monday. A lot of people have questions about their career. And I would say there's this big anxiety about failure and missing something. That's what I get out of the event and talking to a lot of people there. Like, what if I make the wrong choice? Or what if I don't do this and don't go to school at the right time and don't get the proper degree? And this anxiety, I mean, if you look at people who are the most successful in the world, I mean, probably most of them, they either failed at some point and maybe they came back and did something differently, and that was the trigger to their success. So what I've been telling people all throughout Monday and also in my different communication is that there's no right or wrong. There's no perfect career path. So no matter what you do, you will always end up finding your way. It's just a question of some people find it earlier than others. Some people know exactly what they want at a young age and they're very clear in their head, and they have a perfect, so to say, career path. But then again, it might happen that in their 40s, they have this big breakdown and they realize they want to do something different. So I wouldn't be so stressed about, what is the perfect career or the perfect education that you need, because again, you will probably find your way at some point. But I wanted to give you 3 tips to help you with orientation, and hopefully that gives you some insights about how to manage this whole thing as good as you can, or at least, give you a sense of where to go from there. So the tip number 1 is that the first thing you can do is really work with a professional like myself or work on your own on your skills assessment. A lot of people don't know their skills. That's why they keep bugging into the same problems because they're not really clear in their head about what value they have to offer, what skills they have, what's the best market for them, what are some of their assets, etc. And you can find that out nowadays by working with a professional. So there's a lot of books, I've talked about this before, where you can find also the information. So again, working with someone gives you value because you can get some feedback from somebody. And this is where most people want support. They want feedback. They want someone to help them find out what it is that they're good at. Of course, you can always do it on your own, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult to have this distance, because if you're on your own, you can circle around the same problem forever and not get the solution. By working with somebody else, it helps you pinpoint where your areas of improvement would be and what's some advice to take from there. So again, working with somebody, if you're really lost and you feel like you're not getting the answers that you want from either watching videos, reading books, there's a lot of books where you can do your own assessment. And I will also post some links below of places, websites where you can do also your own self-assessment, so to say, or get some clarity on matching the jobs to the skills and matching the jobs to the resume. There's a lot of automated tools online that will give you some clarity to some extent. But again, it's never as good as having somebody actually look at everything for you and give you a solution. So it's a little bit like fixing your car. You can buy the materials, you can probably figure out a little bit how things work, but until you have an expert that comes and say, this is exactly what you need to do, you're going to waste a lot of time probably, especially if you're not the type of person who can connect dots very easily. So again, these are resources and I will post them below to help you figure out your orientation and give you some guidance. Nothing as good as having somebody else look at your issues and your problem area. So that's number one, is to actually get some support in orientation. Number two is that you have to try different things until you find out what it is that you like. So I see a lot of young people who want to get it right very early on, but you're not going to bring, and you just have to accept that, you're not going to bring a lot of value to a company when you're still young and learning. And even if you have a degree, I mean, it's great, but it's not it. I mean, a lot of people have actually learned to resolve problems because of experience. And this is what companies in the end appreciate. It's someone that has experience, that has seen this problem 100 times and knows exactly what to do. So as a student, yeah, it's great. It's probably the entryway to get into a company nowadays, the minimum, I would say. But you can only bring so much to a company. You've studied models and you've studied statistics maybe and problem solving in school, but you're still young for a company and they still need to train you. So you just have to accept that you will have to go through several jobs before you find out what it is that you like. Maybe you realize you don't like math and you don't like accounting and you want to go to marketing or vice versa. But until you actually do the job, it's quite abstract to make a decision early on. So again, there's no right or wrong. Maybe by trying a few jobs, you realize you eliminate what you don't want to do after a while and you focus on what you do best. But there's no quick made solution that will give you this clarity until you try it for yourself. So don't be afraid again of getting it wrong and being in the wrong job. As long as you learn in the job, I think it's always a plus. Then the issue to watch out for is that you don't stay too long in this type of mode. It's okay to try out. It's okay to test things for a while, but you don't want to do that forever in your life. It's okay when you're out of school, maybe for a few years, do some internships, even volunteer, but you don't want to do that forever. You want to get to a point where you have some clarity in your career. So that leads me to step number three, or tip number three, is the sooner you have the clarity, the better. People who tend to be more successful have objectives and goals, and they're very clear on what they want to achieve, and they make the appropriate steps to get towards their objective. So if you're the type of person who's not really clear in their heads, you tend to change careers quite a bit, or you're not clear about what you want as a career, I would say you need to get that solved as soon as possible, because then you'll end up in your 30s or even in your 40s where you're still running around in circles and you're not going to be as marketable after a while, because there will be people same age as you with a lot of very solid, coherent experience that will probably get the job before you. So just be careful about trying things out. It's completely okay when you're young. I would say it's even more encouraged. But when you get to a certain level of experience, I would say after 30, you need to start getting some type of clarity and some kind of orientation. And again, it's okay to get help on that, but just be aware that companies want stability. They want people who have clear objectives, who know what they want. So make sure that you work on that and you build your career. You make the steps to build your career towards more stability. So I will talk to you soon, and feel free to leave some comments.